multiple times, guys.
All right, welcome to our Monday morning power hour. Marcy is not available this morning, so Sheila, Hay, and Jan will be running it, and we're just answering questions this morning. So take it away, Sheila. Oh, we already had Marie. Who was it? Marie.
Yes, it's Marie Connect.
Connect. Okay, thank you.
Like connect the dots. Okay, so I'm just getting back into it, and I'm giving out some samples and talking to people and encouraging them to watch Start X39 now, and talking about the business. How do you close? I mean, how do you sell this? I mean, like, I tried the cream last night on my feet. My feet are cracked and like splitting, and I put it on for the first time on my feet last night, and my husband tried it on his itchy skin. Doesn't have itchy skin this morning, and my feet are soft and they almost look normal, and that's amazing. This stuff blows my mind, and I wanted to blow other people's mind too. And so how do I get them to see what I'm seeing?
The $1 million question. You go first, Sheila.
Okay, so my first question to you is, which cream are you talking about? Because I want to do that.
It's the Aloe Vera night cream, because I don't have the day cream. I just picked one for the night, and I tried. My feet are like red and cracked, and so I tried it on there last night. I put a lot, because I tried the Vaseline Intensive Care, which I always used, but it's not doing the trick. It was so watery. And then I tried the aloe vera cream, the night cream, on my feet, and you don't have to use a lot. It's very concentrated, and it just felt really good to the skin. And I wish it was unscented though, because I have a little issue with scent, but it's not overpowering the scent. And I put it on, and it was great. And
Marie, this is
yeah.
Jeannie.
Hi, Jeannie.
Listen, take before and after pictures. Like, you already put it down. You did it tonight, right? But take a picture, and the next couple of days, take another picture. That tells the story without the person having to experience it.
Okay.
And that's my answer, Marie. Are you telling story? Are you sharing story with people?
Yeah.
And I mean, I used to have a very hard time with closing people because I didn't want to sound pushy.
Yeah.
And my gig today and who I am is, hey, I have this opportunity to share with you information about how my life has changed drastically. And I just spent, on the 26th was my 3rd year anniversary on the patch. Okay. And so I share my story with people, and I let them tell me, so I say, and what's going on with you? This man on Saturday told me about both his knees, his shoulders. He can't reach up, he can't do this. And I was able to get him to get the information down, write it down. And I'm gonna, today in office hours, get a gift sent out to this man. Okay, now, an hour before I talked to this gentleman, I talked to another lady who came up to me. I told her my story. She said, I want that. And she signed up for a silver right there. No questions asked.
Mhm.
Okay. So one of the things that I've been learning too is that the less, anytime you are a little bit more vague. Okay. When I started this, would just vomit on people everything I knew. Copper peptide this, telomeres, da-da-da, everything is this. But what I find today, and what I'm learning through my other, my professional career and working with NLP, is that the more details you give someone, the more rejection you receive.
Okay.
The vaguer you are, the more they are accepting to what you have to offer. And when you just focus all on your story and nothing on them, they look at you and they think, well, I could never be that way. And so that's part of why, for me, you have to bring them in by saying, okay, so now you've heard my story. What is going on with you? How can we help you? Okay,
I have one more question. When you give them a gift, is it only X39? If they have, if let's say they say, I have a knee problem, do you give them Ice Wave and X39? Or just
No,
X39?
I just
go
want to
ahead,
say
Jan.
something about that. We, as the office, we send out the X39. It would be absolutely impossible for me to send other patches to people. But if you're belly to belly with somebody, or if this is somebody that you know, you certainly are welcome to give them some Ice Wave out of your own stash.
Mhm.
But the one thing that we've learned is if you expose too many things in the beginning, confused people do
Yeah.
nothing. And
Exactly.
you really want to just lead with X39 because that's the workhorse of the bunch. So.
Jan, do you give out the envelopes, or do I need to buy those gifting envelopes with the information X39 on it?
Well, when you do the gift request, that's what I send out. I send out the gifting envelope. And I send out the what to expect card with your name and everything on it. If you want to order envelopes, if you just want a small quantity, I
Yeah.
can get them for you. It's very nominal. If you want like 100 or more, you could order from Sally. But I'll put my email and my phone number and we can talk off and I'll
All
show
right.
you how you can get those.
And you can also print off and start x39biz.com. It's in the back office there,
That's right.
and you can print out what it says on the envelope.
Right, yeah, but the envelopes themselves are really nice. Plus I have them in cards. It's just a card that's got this on the front and then this on the back. And you can staple the little baggie to it. So that's another way you can go. But I
Right.
just want to give an example of belly to belly. When you're talking to people, we were at the airport and we met this gal and she asked me what I did. And I went into the stem cell patches and Marcy walked up and she could see the gal. And I didn't think I was saying too much, but apparently I was, because she started glazing over and Marcy jumped in and turned it all around to her. And then when it was all at the end, we exchanged patches and numbers and all that. But Marcy, it's all about you. Oh, what do you do? Oh, I'm in stem cell activation technology. Tell me about you, and turn it right back to them. And you save that contact for the end when they think you're so wonderful because you just listened to them for 5, 10, 20 minutes. And now you've got all the information you need at the end to turn it around and say, hey, let me get your number. I want to send you some information. So yeah,
That's
I learned
right.
a lot hanging out with Marcy.
And the other thing, I think that you asked about, do you gift other patches? Kathleen and I, since we went on this belly to belly island tour during September and October, if we come across someone that is in dire need, if we've got them, it was sometimes we forget or you run out of your supply that's on your body, right? But sometimes we carry Eon and X39, and that's the only other patch that I lead with. And it's only if I 100% in my mind or Kathleen know that the Eon, the inflammation relief, is what they could help. And we might just slap that on there, but that's the only one. And I don't ever gift out other patches than X39 ever.
Okay. Thank you.
Andrea, you are up next, my dear. Can you unmute and ask us your question, please?
Oh, hi there. Oh, gosh. My question actually has to do with the PV, personal volume. So it says that we have to keep, I think it says for me, I'm a diamond and actually I just moved into manager last night. So I'm excited about that.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I guess I have to keep a PV, and I think mine is 110. Is that correct?
If you are gold or above as a manager, your PV needs to stay at 110. Anything under a gold can come in at 55 PV for the month, and that's fine.
Oh, that's good. That's great to know. So, because yeah, I have,
But also, as a
mhm.
diamond, if you just signed up as a diamond, that covers your 110 for 3 months. So for the next 3 months, you don't have to worry about auto ship or anything. You're covered for 3 months.
Okay, that's okay, great. That was another question. And then okay, the 110 would mean that I would need, because I've guessed I get the sleeve for $84, the X39. I think it's
Mhm.
84, something like that. So that's only 84 PV, is that correct?
No, you
Oh,
get, that's one of the benefits of coming in on a diamond. It covers you for 3 months. So each month it will keep you at 110 in volume. So what I did is I had come in as a silver. As I made money, I upgraded to gold and I upgraded to diamond. That covered me for 3 months. And then I saw, wow, I'm actually like bringing people in and making money. And as my belief level went up, after the 3 months on diamond, because I was able, I signed up and I just do the maintenance pack every 6 months. So I never have to worry about my personal volume. And that drops 110 points in my account every month.
okay, because that actually, that is what, so that you can do that every 6 months and it would cover 6 months, or?
Every month it drops 110 points in your account. And then if you have any preferred customers, those points also count for you personally.
Okay, perfect. Now, one more question about that. I'm questioning about the maintenance packs and the maintenance kits. Because I'm ready, actually I have plenty of X39 to share and put a patch on someone. But like I've seen, there's so many, like my daughter and I are going to be working but presenting at like community centers and things where we have a lot of retirees and such, and they have pain. How do you feel about us patching like with the ice wave, and then letting them know? I mean, first of all, really obviously selling the X39, but at least showing them what can happen after they're on the ice wave, or I mean the X39, for a short time. I've noticed that I have no pain in my body at all, and I did have some inflammation, and every once in a while I might wake up with a little bit because I'm still eating really naughty. um, and I know that creates some inflammation, which I'm not really supporting my patches, which I need to do. But long story short, the pain, it goes away within, after I get up and move, it's gone. So it doesn't stay with me for more than, I don't notice again after I get up and move, which before I would notice all day, if I was doing something like that. So I do know that there's a recovery that's happening really quick. And I've been on them for almost 6 weeks.
So your basic question is, should you use Ice Wave at the events that you're going to? Is that correct?
Yeah, and then explain to them that really what they want is the X39, but if they had acute pain, they could do both. But the X39
Sheila,
would
you
kick
want to
in.
take that?
Thanks, Dan. Honestly, Andrea, my personal opinion at events is that I stick with X39 because Jan said it earlier, confused people do nothing. Okay.
Okay.
I would, if you were going to be making a return visit to this place, then I might introduce a second patch. But my experience is just that I've led with X39 because that is that's really the key to that cellular shifting. Okay. Now,
Right.
don't get me wrong. I lived life for 3 years at a 10 plus on the pain scale every single day. Okay.
Mhm.
And so Ice Wave has been important in my life in the last 3 years. However, it is really the Eon combined with the X39 for me that massively changes, because what happens is that when inflammation is the basis of disease, okay? And so when I am shrinking the inflammation and lowering that in the body, the stem cells can come in and do their work better. Okay. So if I was going to, me personally, if I was going to do something at an event where I was sharing stuff with people, I may add the Eon. But when we did our big event here in October and Jan was here, we focused on X39. That was our
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so my maintenance kit, in my maintenance kit, I can get like a maybe cross between do you think I should focus on Eon then and the X39 in my maintenance kit as well? Unless I
Well,
wanted something for me.
if you
But-
got mostly X39 in your diamond kit, you probably should be well stacked with that. So you could pick, there's a couple of different maintenance packs. One you can mix and match. One is just X39. So we could take a look at that offline. Bob Campbell, let's hear from the master.
Yes, please, Bob.
Okay, I'm about to pull what little hair out of my head that I have. guys, let me share something with you, if I may. When you share this patch, it is about the psychology of sharing. And what Sheila and Jan just told you is very apropos. You must ask people how they are doing, what's going on with them. Let them begin to speak. And then when they start to tell you, well, I've had this back pain for, it seems like forever. How long have you actually had that back pain? What has it been debilitating for you? You see, ask little questions like that. And now they're going to focus on, yeah, I want to get rid of this. If you introduce any other patch than the X39, I will personally strangle you. Guys, you can't do it, because as soon as you bring up that other patch, that's the patch they're going to focus on. You can't go to X39 after you just told them an ice wave will do this for you. And guys, I have never given a patch away. Never. And the reason I don't give a patch away is this. I'll give you a perfect example. I went to a folks home the other day, and their 23-year-old son was there. And they were excited about the patches, but the son says, well, it didn't work for me. And I said, oh, may I ask how old you are? And he said, 23. And I said, may I ask how long you were on the patches? He goes, yeah, 8 days. I gave him a full try. 8 days. See, you guys, what is, David Schmidt has said this over and over again. You want to give the patches a month try for every decade you've been alive. Do you guys mind if I take a little time, or is it okay?
I'm good.
Sandy?
You
Okay.
roll.
Okay. So let me share that for those of you who haven't heard my story, I'd like to share it with you if you don't mind. So within the first 7 to 10 days on the patches, my energy level doubled. I was ecstatic. By patches, I mean X39. So because I've been tired since I was in high school. I've never had energy when I wake up in the morning. So this was amazing. In 6 to 7 weeks, my sleep pattern went from sleeping an hour up 2 hours, sleeping an hour up 1 hour, to sleeping 6 to 6.5 hours straight through. Now my energy level is fantastic, and my brain fog is gone that I've had. So it's amazing. In fact, I was telling Amy yesterday, I said, I still can't believe that at 72 years old, I can wake up in the morning looking for something to do with energy and no pain. So, and I've had prostate cancer for 14 years. 12 of those years, I've had to take a little red pill to be able to urinate at all. If I don't take that pill, I can't urinate. Twice in 12 years, I forgot to take that pill in the morning. By 11 a.m., my bladder was full and I could not urinate one drop. That is very scary. But 3.5 months on the patches, and one day my flow got very strong, and I thought, wow, that's interesting. The next day it was strong again, and I thought, geez, I wonder if I stop using this pill. And guys, I stopped using that pill after every day for 12 years. And after 3.5 months on X39, I've never had to use that pill again. That's been almost 2.5 years. So then I've had 7 foot surgeries, 5 knee surgeries. I have been in pain since 1973.
Yeah,
For
that's our Z-Zac.
for for, for 3 years. For 3 years, I had to sleep with my feet dangling over the end of the bed because my foot pain was so severe. If it touched the bed, I could not sleep. 6 months on the patches, I don't really notice any improvement in my pain in my feet or my knees. And I also had arthritis in my hands. And I thought, well, I've been in pain for over 40 years. It's just not going to help. The 7th month, I got up out of bed one day and I had no pain, no stiffness, no swelling anywhere in my body. It was as if somebody flipped a light switch in that 7th month. I'm 72. At the 7th month, that's when this all happened. Guys, after 40 plus years of pain, after that 7th month, it's almost been 2 years later, I have had not 1 second of pain. Not 1 second. Now,
That's brilliant, Bob.
yeah, so I have to tell you, the last thing that happened, it took 21 or 22 months, but I had precancerous scabs all over my hands, my arms, and my fingers, and I've had to have them burned off twice, and it's the most painful thing in the world. Anyway, one day after almost 2 years, I get out of the shower, drying off, and all of them are gone. Gone. But it took nearly 2 years. So what that tells me is this patch works every day. You must wear it every day, 12 hours on, 12 hours off. So this is for what you say to people. There is a little script that Amy and I use, and here's how it goes. It's real simple. In fact, I spoke in the lady who was talking about getting in front of the group, and she wanted to give them the ice wave or whatever. There was a group of 17 people, and a friend of ours in LifeWave asked me to speak. And she also, unbeknownst to me, had somebody from doTERRA speaking. The doTERRA person, she asked to get up, ladies first, and speak while this lady was cooking her vegan meals for all the people there. And she got up and she did a presentation, best presentation I've ever seen in network marketing, and I've been doing it for 35 years. So she did this presentation. It took an hour plus. She went through every single product. So she got done. She's packing up to leave, and the lady asked me to get up and speak. I spoke, and here's what I said. Who here has heard about stem cells? And half the room put their hand up. I said, who here has heard about the latest technology in stem cell activation? Nobody, which is exactly what I wanted. And then I said, I finally found that technology, and here's what it did for me. And I told them that story I just told you. And I said, if anyone would like some more information, you can write it down on this clip, write your name and number on the clipboard. Well, the lady from doTERRA did the same thing. She said, you can write your name and number on my clipboard. So my whole presentation took less than 2 minutes. I was done. What do you know about stem cells? Have you heard about the latest technology? No. I'll give you some information. If you'd like some information on it, write your name and number down here. And then I sent them, start x39now.com, and I have their phone number, and I call them up. And I say, were you able to look at that information? And then I ask, what did you like best? I'm done, guys. That's it. Whatever they say they like best, that's what you focus on. See, it's doing them a disservice when you start to tell a whole long story or you try to explain the patches. It's, what do you know about stem cells? Have you heard about the latest technology in stem cell activation? No. I'll send you some information. If you like what you see, I will get it for you wholesale. You say, if you like what you see, I'll get it for you wholesale, to stop them from going to eBay or Amazon to buy them cheaper. Because as soon as they hear you say, if you like what you see, I'll get it for you wholesale, they will never go look at it, because the word wholesale marries them to you.
That's right. That's right.
That's
and
it.
The connect you need. You need to make that connection with that person, whether it's someone you know, someone you just met, a friend, a family member. It has to connect with them. And Bob, I'm grateful for you. I remember when I interviewed you a year ago, I think maybe, and
Yeah,
you
probably.
shared that script. And I do believe that Bob's entire script is on startx39biz.com. Is that correct, Jan?
It
Yes.
is. I don't know where it is. Jan, do you know?
I can find it.
Okay.
And I also, somebody asked a good question. It's a great question, Yin Yan, about there's some protocols that have different patches in there when you're signing somebody up on a kit. So, and this is Marcy. Everything I'm saying is for Marcy. We always lead with X39. We expose with X39. Again, we don't want to confuse people. But in the discovery process, after listening to them and finding out all their issues, when you're going to sign them up on a package, those protocols that you see are to help fill their kits with other things besides X39, because our goal as a team is to get people to sign up on auto ship. If you sign 4 people up on silver packs and they all just buy X39 and they don't go on auto ship, you're spinning plates. Next month, you got to go find 4 more people to sign up on silver kits. So the goal is to fill the kits with other patches that would be helpful to them. Obviously, some people just want the X39, that's great. But the goal is always to try to get people to go on auto ship. That's what keeps your business going. No auto ship, every month you're struggling. If you hit manager this month, next month they don't buy something, you don't have your rank anymore. So the goal is auto
Yeah.
ship. That's why we have the different protocols.
Exactly.
If I may say one other thing. So when I'm signing somebody up, I just assume, I make an assumption they're going to be on auto ship. So they don't question me. Well, when I
have a
assume, I see.
question. Okay, Bob,
Sure.
so I have people, so if somebody, and people, there's money issues out there. So if somebody signs up and they get their 3 X39 and you say about auto ship, they go, well, why do I need that if I already have 3 months? How do you deal with that?
Okay, very good. I say this to them. I say, here's what I did. So I would say, here's what I did, Jan. I got on auto ship and became a representative or a brand partner. Excuse me, don't use the word representative, use the word brand partner, so that I could earn enough money to get my patches basically for free. How does that sound to you? Would you like to have your patches for free? And I will work with you and help you do that. And everybody says, yeah. I literally, if I have one person out of 100 say no, that would be surprising. But the reason for that is I'm always worried about them. You know, I want to help them. If you truly care, I'm gonna tell you, and I'll say this for folks who haven't heard it, but Amy said after the first 7 to 10 days that she and I were on this product, Amy said to me, if we don't share this with people, Bob, it's criminal. See, I feel it is our obligation to share this, because if you knew about this and you knew all of my suffering and you didn't share it with me, we would have to have a real serious talk, and there may be firearms involved. So I'm just joking.
That's how you
I
get people on
apologize.
auto ship, Bob. I know it. Thank you,
Yes,
Bob, for
if you,
sharing that. I really, really
Yeah,
do appreciate that.
if they
And-
know you're helping them, they'll do it if they know you're genuine. But if I may say, Sheila, last thing, and I promise to shut up.
Okay, last thing, Bob.
The reason I don't give any patches out is because of that young man that said, well, I used them for 8 days. See, you can tell them all you want. This is my personal opinion. You can tell them all you want that here, I'll give you 5 patches, and you can tell them, but don't expect anything to happen. And what we say is what Annie D. Coker taught me. She says, we typically 50% of people see results in 3 to 6 weeks. The other 50% see results in 3 to 6 months. Okay, you can tell them till you're blue in the face. If you give them 5 patches, guess what they think? Well, you told them doesn't matter. Why would you give them 5 patches if it didn't work? And then when they get no results, you've lost them. That's just my personal opinion.
Thank you, Bob. you really help. You're a great leader in our whole Be Activating team, and we appreciate you very much. And
Well,
something before I jump over to Jeannie, because we have more people that have questions, I want to share real quickly one thing. I've been a Reiki master for 25 years, and one of the things that I'm a Yasui Reiki master, and when Master Yasui brought Reiki back into the world, he went into the slums of Kyoto, Japan, and he was helping people, and they were beggars on the street, and they were having healing in their life. And like 3 months later, he went back there, and people were mad at him because they were healed, but then they had to start supporting themselves. Okay, so the point is, you always have to have a value. And when you just give something away, people don't always value it. So I can share that I gave thousands of dollars worth of LifeWave patches away my first year. Okay, shame on me. I'm a lot more smart about how I do it today. Jeannie, you're up, my dear. What can we help you with?
Gotta unmute.
Yeah, she's working it. You're still muted, doll.
Okay,
Oh, there
now
you are.
we're here.
Yeah.
Okay, my biggest challenge is that I find people and I know that they have an issue, right? And so I share with them the patches, but it's getting them to give me their phone number and set a time, because I call them back and I don't get any feedback from them. You know, it's like I give the gift, I know they got an issue, but it's like I got to get it happening on the other side too.
Okay, so what I have found is coming to office hours for me changed my whole reality about how I do it. And when I have a gift request sent, I am relentless. Once a week, connecting with these people, at least through office hours, sending videos, sending testimonials. And what Marcy says is text and talk. And that has really, really made a shift, because I think people finally are like, oh, for God's sake, this chick keeps bothering me. I'm going to answer the phone or I'm going to text her. And I've converted people from persistence. Okay. There comes a point, though, where what I call, and Kathleen, we call it being ghosted. All right. If you ghost me for 6 months, then I literally, in my little book, which one is it? I write across my book,
Ghosted.
crossed the finish line. Right there, crossed the finish line. And what that means to me is I have taken this person as far through the race as they want. And I'm not going to I have more people that I'm following up with constantly, right? So allow yourself. It doesn't mean that you're never necessarily going to contact them, but you don't have to keep pushing it right away. Jan, what do you have to say about that?
I'm sorry, about getting phone numbers?
No, sometimes the people will give me their phone numbers, but they won't return the call, even though I send them a video or stuff.
Yeah, I just I'll drop them something, like if I know what their situation is and I heard a good podcast. I mean, you know, as Marcy says, if you don't ask or if you don't do something, it's 100% no. So I might send them something that I think would be relatable to them. Hey, I thought of you. I heard this last night. It was awesome. Thought of you. And I'll send it. I mean, that's all we can do is you phone call, you drop a text, maybe every couple of weeks or something, and just, you got nothing to lose. And it's funny because, you know what? I've had people come back a year or two later. You know, every once in a while, I'm not a great social media person, but I've got a couple of people just from posting, like the day I quit my job, you know, thanking LifeWave. I got people, you know, from that. So they never completely no, it's just no, not now. And if it's no, never, then you keep going. You can't waste time worrying about that.
That's right. And the other thing that I would add with that is, please keep from taking this personally. Okay. Because I think that's kind of what I did in the beginning too. I would get a little butthurt when family or friends, because they're like, "Oh God, what's Sheila doing now?" You know, and
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
okay. And so, and I still have family and friends that are on the patch, and I have family and friends that, because of my lack of follow through, and you know, they started, maybe they got a bronze or a PC, but I was not following up. And that, okay, I want to throw that out as a really important piece of advice. You sign a silver today, they get their patches tomorrow. You need to follow up a week from when they get their patches, and 3 weeks and 6 weeks. Because if you don't, you just might lose them. Okay. So
you.
does that help, Jeannie?
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome, sweetheart. I know it's Sandra on the picture, but I know you as Sandy, my dear good friend.
I'll always be Sandy to you, Sheila. That's just
Thank
how it's
you.
going to be with us. That's fine. Listen, I need something in my script tweaked, and you know, you're my one of my favorite people to brainstorm with, but we also do happen to have, you know, the master of I finally found on the call. So
That's right, Mr. Bob.
okay, maybe I raise my hand. All right. So like Bob, I have, you know, stories about brains, bowels, and boobs. Okay. I got a lot of illness that I've been turning around on with these patches. Okay. So when I listen to people, and Sheila, I have to confess, whenever they've got a knee injury, I'm so excited, because then I talk about my friend Sheila, right? It's okay, I got this, right? But anyway, on I finally found, I like to say, I finally found something that's helping me reverse the symptoms I've experienced from MS. But interestingly, that's really a niche audience. And yeah, if somebody can relate to that, that's jackpot. But for the most part, a lot of people are, okay, well, she's like really sick, so I don't know, you know, what I've got is so much less than that. So I'm looking for, what I have said in the past is that I finally found something that just helps me at this stage of my health journey. But, you know, we've got some good minds on this call. I'd love like a little bit of a collective brainstorm about what else to say if you don't happen to have the symptom that you're trying to turn, you know, like somebody's got a liver issue or a heart issue or whatever, and that might not be my particular issue. Just some thoughts on how to best relate, even though that's not your issue.
Well, I think that personally, one of the things that I do is always show compassion. Okay. Because you remember.
All right, I was showing no compassion right there. I got it. Okay, thank you for kind of saying that. All right.
No. I'm just telling you, asked what do you do, and I'm
Okay.
saying that I would have to go into that space of compassion,
Okay.
and be able to relate to them in their experience, right?
Right.
And sorry, I got distracted because I went to the chat picture. I'm like a little raven here. And so, yeah, take it, Jen, because I lost my train of thought.
You can always use somebody else's story. Right? I mean, that's why we have the testimonial. You can just go in and search and find something that's more relatable to them, listen to it, and then that's
a good idea. I was just thinking in the moment of, that's a great idea, actually. I talk about Sheila more than you might imagine. Oh, Bob, you're there for me?
Here's what I say to people when they ask me about what their issue is, and I say, well, you know, I can't tell you what it'll do for you. But we just had a podcast the other night where someone had your exact same issue and got great results. If you can remember to say it's true, everything we say is true. We don't need to embellish here. So all I say, and guys, if you're not on those podcasts, you're doing yourselves and your future clients a great disservice. I don't know how many times I've cried listening to those podcasts. So I mean, we've heard everything in the world. We have over 3,000 testimonials. So when you say to people, and if you word it just like this, I don't know what it'll do for you, but we just had someone on a podcast who had your exact same issue and got tremendous results. If you can remember to say that exactly in that manner, you're done. That's all you need to say.
I love it. Now, frankly, I don't have your authoritative style, however, we all have our own gifts that we bring to the party. But it's like when you say something, it's like, what's that commercial? E.F. Hutton has spoken or whatever, and everybody listens. You've got that kind of commanding voice. Okay, so I don't have that, but I will remember
It's
the words.
conviction. It's conviction, though.
Got it.
See, because of everything I've seen here, just keeps blowing me away. So when I say it, I do have this voice, but you guys, as long as you say it with conviction and just say, I don't know what it'll do for you, but I just saw on a podcast the other night, and someone with your exact same issue got great results.
I like the honesty of that. Thank you.
Yes.
And I want to, I know Sandy knows my world that I dabble in on the other side of life. I'm a neuro-linguistic practitioner. And what Bob is saying is really important. And you have to come at this with total confidence. Okay. If you have even a nanosecond of doubt in your mind that you can do this, then the universe is going to expand that nanosecond into a lifetime of doubt. And you're going to fail. Okay. And I know that because that's what I started out as. All right. And when you are willing to say, I'm good enough to do this, I'm smart enough, this has changed my life, it made me walk again, then you have that strength, and you need to be able to stand in your power and speak your truth. Okay. And your truth is that the X39 has changed your life, and it's given you a better quality of life. And I think that a lot of people, we don't even mention quality of life to others. Okay. But I think that that's a really important aspect of this whole connection, whether you're on the phone, whether you're belly to belly, but to impart how quality of life can be for them. Okay.
I like that.
Great.
You always nail it, Sheila. Thank you, Dal.
You're welcome, Sandy. Love you, sweets. Okay, Aaron, come on board here. What I know I said that you could talk earlier, and I apologize.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Some of the questions that I had, and things that you guys have been talking about, bouncing back and forth between you guys have kind of been answered. Always lead with the X39. I've had situations to where, like, I've talked to friends that actually are a really good friend, and they just kind of, yeah, whatever, how sometimes that goes. But I've only told them about the X39 stem cell patch. And yesterday, I happened to be with the person, and they had a very, very bad sciatic nerve problem. And that's when instead of talking to them about the X39, I just said, hang on a minute. I grabbed the ice wave out of the truck. I said, put this here. Let's try this right here. Hold this right here. I didn't even take the sticker off of it. I just held it to the skin. And he was holding the one, and I was moving the other around. And I said, do you feel any difference? And he said, no. And I moved it to another spot. And in about 30 seconds, the expression on his face, and he just looked at me and he said, what just happened? What is this? He goes, wow. And I said, that's another one of our products. I said, remember the X39 I was telling you about? And he said, yes. So he started kind of quizzing me on the products. So it took me away from sticking to X39. But the way I explained it to him was, he goes, well, why you got so much stuff? And I said, well, it's no different than going to the doctor. I said, your body has thousands of different chemicals and thousands of different cells. And there's thousands of different pharmaceutical medicines for a high blood pressure, diabetic, pain, you name it. I said, so each one of these patches have a reflective material that send a different phototherapy wave. And I said, so you kind of, once you get on the X39, which is the mothership of the patch, you can see the other patches and enhance it by then targeting certain areas. And then he just kind of shook his head. Well, this morning he called me and he's coming in, because he said, I woke up this morning, I'm back in pain. He goes, how long do these patches last? And I said, well, I told you 12 hours. And, I told him, I said, the ice wave is a pain relief. It's not fixing anything. I said, that's where you got to get into the other one. And that's kind of where, I do what Bob does with leading with X39. But then when it comes to the sign up, like Jan was saying, that's where you get into, well, let's get you this and this so that they'll have a little bit different. You kind of find out what their needs are and try to enhance the X39 with the other patches in their order. That's kind of what I've done to approach it. But then I do like Bob's theory of, if you stick with the X39s on the order, you can help them, show them how to offset the cost of it, to end up getting it free and then actually making money if they do. So am I kind of on the right track there?
I would have to say yes. I would say yes. And, I'm not telling people to never, ever, ever share other patches. That's not what I want. But what I'm trying to say to you guys is that by leading with that X39, getting them that foundation, that is then start to bring the other stuff in. But like I told you, I have put an Eon on somebody right away. And that was how we ended up getting a pretty big, a big client on our team, was because she had, you could see it. Her left knee was gigantic compared to her right knee. It was so swollen. Boom, we slapped a patch on her. And 5 minutes later, we're seeing this lady and her husband own an art gallery down the hill from us. And she's like, oh my God, look, it's changing. And she had a friend who's a doctor in the building looking at art. And she runs over to her, look at this, Thelma. And so there is the opportunity to share that. You just have to be smart about it and don't lead with the others is my thought. Okay, but that's
right.
Personal thoughts.
Yeah, once I lead with it, I use a couple different one-page sheets, which one of them is the what to expect page. I always try to give that to them when let's say I give them free patches of the X39. I'll say, here is a sheet of what to expect. And then that's kind of where, you got to give this not 8 days like Bob was saying one of his guys did, but 30 days minimum to see if you're getting better sleep and so forth. And then they can see what the long haul in black and white writing on that page is. And then if they do decide to come in, that's when I'll use the one-page product sheet. Mm-hmm. And I'll usually text it or email it to them. I say, hey, let's go over the sheet together. I call them and say, I want you to read this, and you will know if there's anything in here that is talking about that you'll say, oh, you know what? Inflammation. Yes, I got that. And then I can kind of explain how that enhances and say that might be one of the patches you want to put on your order, And then also in my mind, when I'm doing that, it also helps, say they want to come in as a bronze. Well, if they find other patches that might enhance the 39 and help them more, all of a sudden they're coming in as a silver now because that package offers enough product to get this, this, and this. And I've had that happen numerous times.
And that's that, each person is going to be individual. And so I think you're doing great, Erin. And just be open, right? Listen to their condition, listen to what's going to help them. And then, something that I want to share with everybody too, and some of you guys have heard me talk about this before. Some people that we meet, they, in their subconscious, don't want to change. Okay. And the reason that is the technical term is called secondary gain. If I'm always sick, my husband is going to do the dishes every night. If I'm always sick, my kids are going to take out that garbage and I don't have to. Whatever it is that they may, have that personal connection to. Secondary gain, I would say, is one of our biggest enemies. Okay. And I don't, unless you actually do subconscious shifting work and removing limiting beliefs and decisions, a lot of people can't change out of that. But when you're willing to share that patch that could shift that for them, just know that sometimes they don't want to change. Okay. Sometimes.
Yep, I agree 100% with that. And sympathy seekers.
That's another word for it. Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect. Totally. Thank you, Aaron. So do you have anything else that we need to answer for you or help you with before I head over to, I'm going to say, is it Deborah? Deborah. Okay. Got it. Woo.
Nope. Between all of you guys, it's great. And I've got all the in-between answers. It's putting it all together. The puzzle's coming together.
Perfect. Outstanding. Well, you have a blessed day, Aaron. Okay. Go ahead and unmute, doll. Ask your question.
Hi, I would agree with everything starting to come together. I've been, researching and doing the training for a while, for probably about 4 weeks. Been wearing the patches for 3. I'm Andrea's daughter. So hi to everyone, but I just wanted to do a quick sharing because my girlfriend came over. We had a get together the day before Thanksgiving, and she was really anxious, and I just kind of noticed that, and I brought her in my spiritual room, is what I call it, and I slapped a patch on her, an X39 and an Eon, and then I tucked an X39 in her, I think in her purse or something, and just said, just throw this on tomorrow, give me a call. So I noticed that, she was calm. She went on, the rest of the party. It was good. And then the next day, before that, she showed me she had like a green, her nail was green. I think she had like lifted it or something. So I wasn't sure if it was like a fungus or what, but it was like green. So she called me the next day and she's like, for one, I don't feel antsy or shaky inside my body anymore. And for 2, she's like, I showed it to you. I know you don't think I'm crazy, but my nail is not green. It's almost gone. So I was like,
In one day.
In one day. So she's like, oh my God, like I gotta have this, I gotta have that. So she's gonna sign up soon. But my husband, 27 years in the military, he's Army, and he's the male that says I gotta see it to believe it, I gotta feel it to believe it. And just the other day, he deals with all kinds of body pain, sciatic, shoulder, neck, all kinds of stuff, feet. And so I put some ice waves on the bottom of his feet and I said, let me know how you feel. Well, the next day he goes, well, I still feel some pain. So I said, okay. That morning I put an X39 on his C7, and then I put on ice wave lower back, and I just slapped an Eon on the side that it hurts right next to the tan patch. A little while later, I look at him and I go, how do you feel? And he said, human. I feel human. And he's the guy, like you can ask my mom, he's the guy that wants to fight and test everything you say or everything that you do. And I'm 100% spiritual and he's not. So he's always like, iffy about crystals and oils and energy healing and stuff. And he's like, so I went to take his X39 off because I said, you can only wear it for 12 hours. And he's like, why? So I just explained it to him. He said, okay. And I went to go take off his ice wave patches, and he moved my hand, put the covers back on him, and he goes, can I please just sleep with these on? So I said, fine, sleep with those on. Took him off this morning, and he said, I barely feel any pain. But yesterday he had none.
That is brilliant. And that is the kind of shift when people have that, and there's the conscious awareness when they've been skeptical, that almost makes them even more wanting the patches. Because when you live in chronic pain, been there, and you have that moment of peace and freedom from the pain, it's like the best ice cream you've ever tasted. Okay. And you just really want to embrace that. So congratulations to both of you guys, because that it's going to shift how you live together with him. It really will, because he's going to, I know when I'm in extreme pain, because sometimes my knee still hurts, which it'll go up to a 4 or 5, which that's extreme compared to a 1 today, right? But we're bitchy, we're mean, we're cranky, we're in pain. And when you can get away from that and you have that shift, that's when you get people in this community where they want to become of service to others and share this patch, because like Bob said, we do a disservice if we don't share it, and we know what it can do for us. So Janine, you have a question. I did answer yes to what I saw printed over in the chat. So wherever you are, if you want to unmute, but the reason you need to place an order by no later than January 1st is because that 3 month of 110 PV is going to end. If you place an order today, you can move it from the 1st of the month to the 28th. You can change your auto ship date in your back office whenever you want. And we need to be sure to make the order. If you are a builder and you are above gold as a manager, yes, if you want to be active, you have to have 110 points for every 31 days. Let's see, I'm rolling down. Can we still get the Shine and Dream Mist buy one get one free? And yes, KM is that's Kiki wrote that. Yes, if you went to the virtual convention, call up customer service. That's the only way that you're going to get it, because they have the record that you paid for the virtual convention, and then they will give that deal directly to you. And let's see what else. One more message down here. If symptoms have not improved with over a year on X39, not sure what else to try. Yin Yang, I apologize. I'm passing on that. I don't know where you could check up with Dr. Karen Can. You could check up with some of the physicians that are on the Be Activating team, but I don't have the answer for that. I apologize. I do want to show you guys something that I came up with based on Marcy's business card. I created a new business card for myself. I used to have these cards, and on the back in microscopic printing, that was the envelope. Okay. And what I came up with is this. So that is a literal stem cell photograph right there, picture, activate your stem cells. And that QR code, because Kathleen and I realized that we needed to move into the modern technological world, even though we don't want to. That QR code leads you directly to startx39now.com. So now I give my business card and I tell people, go to that site, which is like what Bob is saying, go visit this. Now I give them my card, they've got it, my phone number. On the back is not my Maui LifeWave website. I suggest you never give your office site to people, okay? Because then they're going to go and they're going to order their stuff on their own, or they're going to make decisions that you could have helped them with, maybe that would have been better for them. But on the back,
also they're going to have a problem. They'll forget their password or something, and they're going to call you for help, and you get to call customer service. I always like putting the information in myself so you can be of service to them.
Exactly. And on the back of this card, I put X39 activate your own stem cells using our patented wearable light technology. Stem cells are the only cells in the body that are changeable and can change into any cell that your body needs for repair, just like when you were 20. And then there's my not my website, but my email on the bottom. So somebody wrote, how can we get those cards? I made them on Vistaprint. And Kathleen came over to my house yesterday. We just put her picture, her name, and her phone number on it. And I think it was like, because they had some kind of special yesterday, she paid $42 or something. So that was for 250. So it's all on, I made mine from Vistaprint.
You
And
can
test
also
them.
order them on our Start X39 biz site. Sally does all our printing and designing, and if you have something different that you want, you can call Sally and she can create whatever you want. But that's it, it's 11:02, so we're gonna stop the recording.